Woo! So, yeah, we're going to talk about this. Warren Ellis's first four issues of Authority. The Authority. And this is in absolute format. Absolute Authority. So the only reason why wanted to be interested in this comic was thanks to Linkara, because I got interested when he was talking about how the 12 issues that Warren Ellis did with Bryan Hitch was actually pretty damn good. So I wanted to check it out, see what happens in this book. This is DC Comics' Wildstorm imprint of the Wildstorm universe, and there was a thing that went on that led to the creation of this group. Let's go into a little bit of backstory for this to provide some context to those who don't know about it. Right? So let's go ahead with the generic overused cliched line of "as you may know." Okay, not really. So Stormwatch is this big organization by the United Nations to monitor space, yada yada yada, from extraterrestrial threats and protect the world. But the backstory regarding the Authority was the team that would eventually become the Authority started out as a covert Stormwatch team, Stormwatch Black Ops. The team consisted of Jenny Sparks, Jack Hawksmoor, Swift, and was led by Jenny with orders from the Weatherman. As a covert team, their mission involved fighting battles in areas where Stormwatch was not allowed, namely America. When Stormwatch had a confrontation with the Changers, Stormwatch Black was included in the attack and fought alongside their more publicly accepted teammate. The Chargers were a group of SPBs led by the High. Their goal was to change the world into a paradise without the need of any form of authority. While Swift and Jack didn't really do much of the fighting, Jay Sparks, however, was engaged in battle with Henry Bendix. It was very important for the characters and their future team. First of all, two members of the Changers would eventually be reincarnated as members of the Authority. The idea behind the team, getting at the reasons behind crime, fixing those problems, and then handing the world back to the people would also be carried on to the Authority, but in a much more violent way. At the time, so this was essentially saying they're like the Justice Lords, but where they make these big promises how, oh, we'll take over the world, we'll run everything, and then we'll give it back to you, the people. Humanity is yours. So, yeah, at the time, though, Henry Bendix escaped from Jay Sparks and killed all the Changes before doing so. With Bendix out of the picture, a new weatherman was needed. Jackson King took the position and kept Stormwatch Black on the team, but made the team even more secret than they had been. Officially, they were no longer on the team, but unofficially, their jobs were the same. Because they couldn't be seen with the team, and because of Jack Hawksmoor couldn't be on the space station for more than 15 minutes without vomiting. Ouch. Stormwatch Black wasn't on Skywatch when it was attacked by the Xenomorphs. After the alien attack on Stormwatch and the subsequent destruction of the main team, Stormwatch Black remained together. They felt that since there was no one left, it was up to them to save the world, and according to Jack, to change it. And that's what leads into this comic. So yeah, there was a crossover, it's seen, with the Xenomorphs getting involved, which is canon in the continuity, where they went ahead and attacked Stormwatch, leading to its apparent destruction. And now we're dealing with a crisis on their hands. So Earth is now out Stormwatch, which leads to problems. So let's kick this off with Moscow, Russia. So we see a lovely woman trying to get to her car, getting out of the snow and whatnot. When all of a sudden, the sky tore asunder with meteorites seemingly crashing to the surface and blowing up a huge section of Moscow up, only to reveal that these terrestrial meteorites are actually super soldiers, suicide bombing into the planet itself, bombing, exploding, and firing laser beams and killing children. Oh, the humanity! Moscow has been torn asunder. Meanwhile, we cut to New York City when all that chaos is going. My God, Moscow's half gone, and there's not a damn thing anyone can do. How do we get to be so goddamn weak, Christine? You mean why are we running a superhuman security the Intelligence Advisory Office for the United Nations rather than you know what I mean. Damn it, Jackson. They won't fund Stormwatch. There's no international superhuman crisis response team. There will never will be. The UN can't afford it anymore. Eh, yeah. Yes, and so yes, if some bunch of super bastards want to spend an hour gutting a major world city, we sit back and say, "Yes, sir." You don't run Stormwatch anymore. You don't get to be Jackson King, Weatherman. I don't get to be Christine Traylon and Faithful Retainer. And he's naturally pissed. Most of Stormwatch are dead. We buried them, love. We can't even trace the people who hit Moscow at the Skywatch space station, and that doesn't exist either. All we can hope is that they don't come out to New York next. What do you think this is? The DC universe? Hope is wasted on this universe. So, yeah, naturally, Jackson is very pissed off and kicks a trash can. Is that the way we have to live now? Hoping that some superhuman lunatic just takes out the next guy? There's no one left to stop them. Even Jenny Sparks, works in the Stormwatch Black Deep cover team, has vanished. Hell, I wasn't allowed to admit that they existed. When all of a sudden, after he kicks it, a vortex opens up. We were somewhere else when they hit Moscow. It won't happen again. Tell me everything you know. Yes. Jenny Sparks, I believe. We meet at last. So I've never really read Stormwatch before. I didn't learn about Wildstorm till I had heard about it from Linkara's Flashpoint video when it merged into the New 52. The thing I did hear about when it came to the Authority is that there were rumors that prior to Dan DiDio's firing, the plan was to give Superman that power, that authority, where he was going to lead a new authority group with his super family. Yeah, that was the thing that was apparently being considered at the time during Bendis' run. And yeah, that didn't happen. That just sounds royally stupid. And it also goes against the whole elite group he fought. So yeah, we cut to Gamora Island. Gamora Island, standing off the Asian continent, used to be called Parasawa. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, and I'm sorry if I got it wrong. 70 years ago, the brothers Gamora were born into Parusa, Samwazin Kaizen, by the age of 10. And the brothers Gamora ran their village. By 16, they ran the country. By 18, they had remade Parusa and an island factory for terror. And by 20, I had killed my brothers, Sam and Wa. My God. Oh God, there are so many questions I have about his look. But I remember them and all of them. I retained the symbol we used in the old days. The circle with 3 knots in the old days. It was a thin leather bracelet that served as a symbol, worn to identify the creatures of the brothers Gamora. Today, it is a smooth corporate logo. The meaning is the same. Anything marked with the Gamora circle belongs to the clan Gamora. I am cutting a circle upon the earth, and Moscow was nothing but the first knot. 2 more knots, 2 more cities. That earth shall bear the mark of Kazian Gamora. I have spent 2 years building you all. 2 years since I returned to Terra after captivity at the hands of the rogue American Superman. 2 years ago since I returned to Terra and Stormwatch struck at Gamora in retaliation. They landed at Parosa Beach and walked inland. They did not stop walking until they had killed more than 200 of my people. But now, Stormwatch no longer exists. There is no one on the planet who can shackle all my anger. The second knot of the circle needs to be cut immediately before the blood dries in Moscow. For the second knot, it is only fitting that I double the attack force. Raise your knives to me as my brothers, and I did to our father before we went out to our vocation. Terrorism, bring terror to the earth. Remind them what Gamora means. Go with my love and my hate. I will unleash hatred upon the world, until someone comes on and says that we shouldn't be destroying what we hate but saving what we love. But that's crazy talk. I can use both. So Jenny Sparks is going in and smoking a cigar with her friend. Jenny Sparks, what is all this? How did you get in here? Through the carrier door. But that isn't what is important. What is important is this. Stormwatch may be gone, but there is still a way to stop these bastards. There's before it's too late for everyone. But you'll have to give me your intel on this. Who's going to stop them, Jenny? What have you been up to? Friends? When you put me, the rest of the Stormwatch Black team into hiding, we decided not to be idle. Me, Jack Hawksmoor, Shin Limon, and we start talking to people. Now, are you going to give me all the intel on the Moscow incident or not? She then her friend hands a disc saying that's all it, plus our own conclusions, inferences, and speculation, some related to background too. Thanks, we'll be in touch. Door. Who's going to stop them, Jenny? A higher authority. We can cut to the junction room of the carrier, with Jenny relaying the information to her fellow authority members. How'd it go? About as well as we expected. I got the information we needed. We didn't really need it, Jenny. Not with the engineer and the doctor. Okay, we needed Christine and Jackson to believe we needed them. Because when all bloody hell breaks loose, and it's going to, we will need them to convince the powers that be to stay out of our way. Where's the engineer? I want to make sure we actually got something in this place that will read this disc. She's in mission control, fiddling around with things beyond mortal kin and like that. Actually, Jack, do me a favor. Shoot. Moscow, survey the damage personally. See what you can pick up. Not you, Shin. Last thing we want to show the Russians is a flyer right away. Right now. Moscow incident, location, central door. And we cut to the ruins of Moscow. Let's see, what was his name again? Jack. Okay, I'm trying to hopefully keep track of everyone's names. That's the thing I like about Dawn of X. They keep what the characters look like and whatnot for new readers coming in. But yeah. So Jackson shows up. He then realizes there are people coming and disappears back into the portal, or at least phases through the concrete. With a bloody nose coming out from using his psionic abilities. Damn. This is what I get for being physically locked into the nervous systems of cities, connecting quicker than ever these days. Well, since Moscow's letting me know she's hurt, let's see what else she can tell me. So, what the hell is this supposed to be? It's their mark, isn't it? The people who did this. Let's see, what else? Now this is interesting. Hey, I haven't seen residual radiation like that since the days of writing Stormwatch transfer bays. Engineer, reckon we can play this? Not a problem, and I told you, my name is Angela Spicer. Angie, for God's sakes. Jenny? So yeah, the engineer is also known as Angela. And she has more of a personality than you would expect. So, yeah. Also, the thing I did notice is, she's a feminine robot, so we got that. And has very feminine tastes. And is very creepily smiling. I get if she's excited about the prospect of all the technology. Okay, fine. But anyway, Jenny tries to get to tell her something. I know, but I have to get used to calling you by code name when we're out in the field. Where's the doctor? In a private room, arranging some kind of conversation with the previous doctor. You know, the one Stormwatch killed. I know. Hold on. Conversation with a dead man? On second thought, I'm not going to ask. She just creepily smiles. You know, I find myself about to say, God, how weird is that guy? Then I look at what I'm wearing and where I'm standing. Hey, you want weird? I'll tell you how I met the doctor sometime. I'm nearly 100 years old, and the bastard gave me goosebumples for days. So, you walk up with a pantheon just as I did. Yes, that's the spirit of the 20th century. So he is the Nazis. Because that's the spirit of the 20th century was all war and chaos. And conflict. And disease. Especially at the early stages. So, how is he the spirit? The winged huntress, the maker, the sun king, the night's bringer of war, and me, the shaman, and I have less experience than any of them. You are the first of us to operate publicly on a fully global scale. Well, how many of us have been there? There's always been a doctor. Earth always needs a shaman. Yes, we need a shaman to coincide with our doctor. We keep recasting the doctor multiple times. We even did several women, and for some reason people hated that because the actress was not really that good with her character. But that was it. And we even did contemplate ending the show with one of the doctors because he was just that damn good. But, we had to keep moving forward. Moving forward seems to be. Experience is not important in the terms in which you frame it. You are the doctor. Upon my death, the singularity opened up around you, and you knew everything that all of us knew, and it became your job, as it was mine and all of ours, to change the world. Because magic is nothing but change. No, Dr. Manhattan says that magic is the scraps of creation. Can we get context on that? No? Okay. Just a Jeff Johns retcon. We never wanted the earlier doctor to die, nor the first engineer Stormwatch was being run by a lunatic, and he did it. I know I wouldn't be here otherwise. Wish I'd been able to meet him, the first engineer. I mean, I had met him in his real life, but not as the engineer. I didn't even know it was him until my home computer filled up all his notes on nanotech and started linking it to my work on the human-machine fusion. Still amazes me he sent all that to me in the second he died. And where's the dynamic duo? They went for a walk, and if they heard you call them that, in this job, I have to steal my laughs where I can, no matter how sad, pathetic, or snide. Jenny Sparks is laughing at us again, and she's still smoking those cheap English cigarettes that smell like the bottom of a gas can. And look at this. We must be crazy. We can't deal with things on this scale, for God's sake. We spent 5 years working on the alleyways of America. We go from that to this, to hell with this and Sparks. We should have never listened, never have brought Apollo and Midnighter out of retirement. Retirement, my ass. We are Apollo and the Midnighter. And if this team's big, well, we'll just have to grow up. I'm never going to get used to this view, Oh, you won't get the chance. We'll be in the Deviac realm tomorrow, moving into Dimension 11. I think we're set to tack into the Bleed afterwards. Ah, yes, the Bleed. That barrier of the multiverse that is allegedly the Marvel Universe. Earth through it, but that's a complicated question. That's what Grant Morrison thinks, at least, so clearly this is a different viewpoint. Right? Can't believe the luck the doctor and I had finding the carrier. I mean, look at it. The perfect headquarters. 50 miles long, 35 miles high, abandoned, powered by a caged baby universe. How? How is it powered by a caged baby universe? In fact, wait, why is it like that? Then we get to the epic scale of the carrier. And it looks like a gigantic or semi-organic whale. And sailing the higher dimensions. The carrier, moving downward through the Deviac realm at a speed of 25 dreams per second. What the? What does that mean? Time passes. Okay. So the engineer goes into the control room and mission control and access the globe. We're in business. What? Jack saw the residue of the teleportation effect in Moscow. So I set the carrier sensor array to watch for it. How does this work again? It gives me a bloody headache every time when I have to try to wrap it around it. We may be moving through higher planets, but we are also in orbit around and in Earth. That's why the doors of the junction room can open on any point on the planet. So looking at the whole of the Earth simultaneously isn't a problem. We just saw multiple teleport effects, Jenny. Some signal from Gomorrah Island. And where to, Angie? London, England. Right, we are most definitely in business. Everyone get yourselves looking decent. Get your heads on straight. Get down to the junction room. I was born in London. And Big Ben has been completely destroyed. No! Oh, and the Supermen of Gomorrah begin blasting with their razor eyes. Until one of them see a shining golden light, and they exclaim, "Oh my god, Apollo the Sun King." And he goes ahead and smashes it into the ground. The Sun King Apollo. Meet Midnighter, Night's Bringer of War, the Engineer, the Maker, the Doctor, the Shaman, Jack Oxmoor, the God of the Cities. And they unleash hell and destruction in their wake. Like, let's see, the Midnighter breaks two of their necks, the Engineer is flipping around, blasting people, the Doctor is turning everyone into birds, Jack is punching people's heads off with their brains coming out. Yeah, I forgot to mention this is an ultra-violent story. And then we see Swift, the winged huntress, going ahead and looking like doing the most sensible thing, but I'm pretty sure that's only going to last a couple of seconds. And Jenny Sparks, the spirit of the 20th century. Well, she's doomed. I mean, like, once the 20th century ends, her reign ends, right? And then they proclaim, "Game over." Yep, that sounds about right. So that was the first issue of this event. Let's continue on with the next because, edgy. But yeah, I do like Bryan Hitch's artwork on this. It's really good. It blends that similarity of realism, yet it also has a sense of cartoonishness to it. I mean, I'm still trying to wonder how the engineer robot has a specific area has whatnot, but not the point being out form, not that. I'm talking about the center of it. I'm trying to wonder how that even is a thing if she's an engineer or suborganic human, or I mean robot. I'm just confused by that. So let's see. Let's cut into the next comic in the second issue of The Circle. The Circle of Life. Yeah, that sounds about right, right? Yeah, I'm so doomed. So, their motto is, "Don't piss us off." The Authority, the Circle. So, yeah, the Authority arrive and the army of the Gamora faction is ready to attack, and the Engineer releases an insectoid creature. Wow, that's okay, that's a thing. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Now we're in silent communication, radio, telepathy. Right. If anyone has any problems, I want to hear about them now. Then let's do it like we planned. Take charge. And Apollo strikes. Smooth. Oof, you ready for this, Jack? Like you wouldn't believe. I've been wanting to punch someone in the brains all goddamn day. Yes, I already punched someone in the brains, but I need to do it more. It's an addiction, damn it. And they charge through, ripping through the army of the Gamora faction. Apollo, Jack, Midnighter, the Engineer, and I are incoming. Understood, Swift. Jenny, this is the Doctor. I'm about to close off the battle zone. Watch your butts, everyone. We wouldn't want them to cut them off. All magic is change. I move things from here to there. Change this thought and that thought. Step behind the scenes and rearrange the set. Remix reality. And as the army of the Gamora shoot at the people, all of a sudden reality is remixed and it's revealed that they shot themselves. Oops, that's the kill by the Guardians if there ever was one. That's your box, Jenny. We're sealed in with them. The people are safe and the open side is facing the river Thames. Just how you wanted it. Back off, air support. And Midnighter is currently punching down and ripping apart enemy forces. Your move, Apollo. What? I'm so rusty after a whole 6 months off the street that I need reminding. Shut up. You whine like an old woman. And for being a guy that's out of the edge for 6 months, he certainly knows how to create horrendous chaos. They're in the river, Jenny. Sorted. And morning, you murdering scumbags. My name's Jenny Sparks. I'm electricity. I'm 100 years old and I never hate anyone as much as you. This is my bloody town you tried to kill. And you're getting only what you deserve. And electrical magnetic death. Quit looking at me and start mopping up. Put the child down. No, I leave alone or it dies. Let me make the situation clear for you. I know what special abilities you have. I can see the enhancements. I can detect the increased electrical activity in your brain. I know what your moves are preparing to make. I fought our fight already. My head. In a million different ways, I can hit you even without you even seeing me. I'm what soldiers dream of growing into. I'm what children see when they first imagine what death is like. I'm the Midnighter. Put the child down. And he does it and gets his head smashed in. Told you so. So, yeah, he just murdered someone in front of kids. Anyways, Hank Smart is going ahead to Hank's or to anyone. I'm being shot by some son of a bitch 400 feet over my head. If I don't see some air support right now, I'm going to come back from the dead specifically to tell Jenny on you. Oh, I'm going to tell Mommy on you. Please don't do that. Yeah, from what we can see, yeah, she's probably going to fight to the death over this. So, Apollo rips into the teleport netting, which he exclaims with like total fear, "You tore my teleport netting! That's all I'm gonna tear off. Wait, where do you think you're going? Oh, hell. Dr. Engineer, we're losing them. They're being teleported out. Anything you can do to stop? Jenny, this is Apollo. I've wrecked the teleport gear on the live one, and I think he's returning to base by air. I'm in pursuit. Not a good idea, Apollo. Yeah, something told me it was going to do that. Door! All medical teams to the injection field. Repeat, all medical teams to the injection field. We have wounded teleporting in. Crash team to injection field. Entrance 9. Morgue unit. To injection field. Entrance 13. No one is to panic. No one is to be afraid. Gamora is strong. Kaizen Gamora loves us all. And he clearly proclaims, I love no one. There should have been no one to interrupt the London operation. There is no one who operates on my scale. I must protect my people while I consider. Draw the curtains over Gamora Island. And the curtains are put in place. Gamora Island below. Weird coloration around it. Engineer, give me some information on that. Storm door. Quality force field. Nothing's getting in or out. That means, oh god, if Apollo hits that, he'll turn into a high-velocity 2-mile wide stain. Incoming. That's Apollo in pursuit. Oh, and why the hell too fast do we stop? Halfway around the world in 30 seconds in order to together for 5 years, but he never ceases to amaze me. Or irritate me. Engineer, can you take my baggage here? Jenny, allow me to write the stupid bastard prescription. And how long have you been waiting to say that? Thought of it yesterday. And he disappears. And he disintegrates. So, I am now Thanos. Oh my god! And he vanishes. They raised the curtain. What a lousy day. And he smashed into the portal. Into the shielding. Oh, those poor and that's his last word, essentially. What a lousy day. Oh, there is so much wrong with that. There wasn't another way to save your life. You were headed towards something harder than you are at too high a speed to be stopped. We're in a broken universe, somewhere off the bleed. The kinetic energy of anything traveling over 100 miles an hour here gets converted into music. Shifting you here was the only way to slow you down. Get you away from the field. And before you start complaining, which your old hand seems to be good at, I may not be tough and experienced in hitting people, no. But half of the mind is as old as human life on this planet. I'm the first shaman, and as well as the last. I know what I'm doing, and I could have let you go splat. Apollo just smiles and says, well, are you taking us back? Welcome back. Next time, wait for the order, Apollo. The force field is the same standard as the one that used to surround Skywatch Station. I saw a superhuman of your class hit one and vaporize. Door. So we stand here and wave at them behind their force field. They're safe. They're even close to safe. But we have other concerns right now. We did appallingly bloody badly, and it's time to clean up the mess. Dr. Shen, I want you in London giving aid to the emergency services. It's the least we can do. I'm like, we could give them money and resources, or maybe we can use the ship, but nah, that's just stupid. We need to make an offer to Russia too. Midnighter, Apollo, oh, you up for that? Remember, the job is about looking after the people. The people! It's the people that matter. And once we say this, we damn well mean it. Until Mark Millar takes over. Or Miller. Angie, Jack, you're on Intel. Put together what we know. Give me some options. I want a pattern. I want to know why Moscow and London got hit. Today's other moral, which I hope is not lost on Apollo. We think before we act. So, naturally, she's taking charge. How are we doing? Getting used to things? You did well. I'm still alive, so I did okay. The machinery did most of it. You must have done a lot of that kind of thing with Jenny and Shen, right? The fighting? Kind of. Yeah, not quite on that scale, but close. The last years have been kind of a ride. And Jenny Sparks always shout at everybody like that? Not quite on that scale, but close. I don't know. I don't know if it's more the responsibility she gets, the louder and more horrible she becomes. She's had a weird life. I tend to forgive her a lot for that. Weird compared to what? Thanks for that jacket, and I'll get it back to you once I popped it to my quarters. Take your time. I'm never gonna wash it again. Oh, that makes more sense. So she's wearing a biomechanical suit. Okay. So what? So does she feel extreme pain or something? I don't know. But at least that explains everything now. Okay, thanks, Christine. Yeah, I'll give you the whole story soon. I promise. Bye. Phew. Okay, we're going to be clear with the Russians in about 10 minutes' time. You're deeply uncomfortable with leadership, aren't you? I don't like it. No. Interesting. You part convinced, part coerced me into joining what sounded like the wet brained fantasy of an alcoholic burnout case. Oh, thanks. My pleasure. And then you obtain the engineer whose existence had barely even been rumored to that date, and I still don't know how you located the doctor whom, if I understand, and his ranting is a magician on a planetary scale. For someone who don't like leadership, you have a knack for building armies. What can I say when I see an unemployed majestic class superhuman and with full combat training and a Henry Bendix? Ideas occur to me. Bad things happen when I run teams, and bad things happen when I don't run teams. This is all a hellish gamble for me, Apollo. But there had to be someone left to save the world. And someone left to change it. To be continued in issue 3! Let's get into it. Man. So, let's get into this. Okay. And we see Apollo being crowded by a crowd of superhuman nakeds. Then we cut to the Authority, the circle of whatever. 3 or 4. So yeah, the damage was pretty bad. So, yeah. So Shen, I believe, let me double check the names. Swift and the Doctor, aka the Shaman, and are currently going ahead and helping the public services. And then Swift says, "I used to be a pacifist after a fashion. What happened? Expendency. Sometimes it's just not good enough. Not good enough world that you can work for it without hurting people badly. Hold on. I can hear 1, no 2. Sorry, miss. We've run the thermal imagers over there a dozen times. I can hear 2. Together. Doctor? How far down, Swift? 30 feet, metal, in the way of water, in the way, and water, cold water, quickly, doctor. Revealing a lovely couple, or mother and daughter. Yeah, it looks like a mother and daughter. Well, bugger me. No, thank you. And she just smirks. Arrogant. The carrier, tacking into the bleed, superposed channel between alternate universes. So we're gonna meet the DC universe? Nah, that comes out in Flashpoint. Even then, they probably won't know who they are. Which brings me back to Gamora Island. Oh, will you shut up about Gamora Island, you moaning ponce? What are we gonna do about the force field around it? Hasn't he stopped about that yet? It's like working with me bleeding mom, with a bleeding mom or something. Jenny, this is Jack. Angie and I are in the map room. Come and find us. Okay, Apollo. Now that I think Angie's finally drummed to listen to me, it's all to do with the carrier. It exists outside space and time, but it's technically also the same place as Earth because of the reality anchor we dropped there. This is how the door works. When we request a destination and walk through, we get where we want because the carrier is everywhere on Earth at the same time. Do you see theoretically being outside as well as within Earth, we can see and touch it all simultaneously. And so if the carrier is touching all of Earth simultaneously, we can step through into anywhere, including behind the Gamoran force field. This opens up a whole wealth of possibilities, Jenny. Don't it just... Jack, Angie, what do you got for me? Something nasty. We saw the symbol dragged, scratched, and burned all over Moscow and London. Same symbol in the terrorist uniforms. Computer search IDs on as Gamora's company corporate mark, or on the Clan Gamora signature symbol. We were just sort of staring at it, messing around, and Angie had a bit of a brainwave. I mapped it onto the planet. I know first not over here. I put it over Moscow, then arranged the curve so the second fell on London. The third knot falls dead on Los Angeles. The bastard's cutting the mark of Clan Gamora on the face of the planet, Jenny. A Gamora Island! We gathered as much telemetry on them as we could while we had them on camera, sir. They are all superhuman. Jennifer Sparks. Who, sir? Jennifer Sparks. An English woman, a creature of electricity, almost a century old. Most recently, leader of Stonewatch's covert warfare team. But Stormwatch no longer exists, sir. What is she doing over Gamora? That's the American Jax Hawksmoor and the slain men of Tibet. Or Elsa late of Stormwatch. I don't know the others. They were in London. They are operating against us. I wonder why. Video call from New York, sir. Right on time. These American bureaucrats do prize their punctuality almost as if it mattered. The American government. When did they ever care about anything besides their self-interests? This year sucks. I'm Shirian Hosio, owner of the UN Special Negotiation Team. I am joined by Jackson King and Christine Trelin of our Superhuman Intelligence Unit. What do you want? Yes, we are willing to negotiate with terrorists. Wait, this is 1999, so we haven't had any events yet. I am Kazian Gamora, father and final brother of Karan Gamora, ruling family of Gamora Island. And I will say Gamora until it becomes redundant. 2 years ago, Stormwatch did me a great unkindness. In retaliation for an act of business perpetuated upon British Isles, hundreds of my people were murdered. I spent 2 years building the world's reward for daring to harm Gamora. First Moscow, then London, and then act of business. It was an act of terrorism, Gamora, for which you were censored, fuck it, by the United Nations, and how bowel liquefying scared I was by such horrific wrist slapping. I note, however, that you don't mention rogue weatherman Henry Bendick's decision to kill more than 200 of my countrymen in revenge. Yes, it was an act of terrorism. Gamora is built on terrorism. Why, man? Because I can. Because I am a wolf in a world of sheep. Because terror is the blood of life and its guiding principle. I have no politics to espouse through my terror, no ideals to force through. Terror is its own reward. Your missiles and bombers mean nothing to me. My terror has shown you that Gamora is the one true superpower on Earth. That's why. And he cuts deeply into a woman's face. And forever scars her with his mark. I am not finished. My mark is not yet cut. And when it is, you should all know I own this planet. Oh, that's probably gonna end well. Meanwhile, in the cosmic sea of life, give me a minute. The carrier, scaling the outer oceans of idea space during the spawning season, keeping pace with the school of obsession fish. What the does that mean? Okay, we need to be in Los Angeles. We also need to know what the hell Gamora is up to. More to the point, if we could stop him attacking LA in the first place, that would also be a good thing. Jack's probably best suited to what I'm thinking, but I need him in LA just in case. Midnighter, we can use the junction room to drop you into Gamora, past their force field. If it comes to it, we can try to hold LA pulled to the rest of his teeth. I need you to help me understand why and how he's doing this. It's also going to hit to kill its force field so that conventional forces can take over the situation. No. The hell with this. I'm not calling you Midnighter or all the bloody time. Don't you and Apollo have proper names? No. Alright, who wants to be Bert and who wants to be Ernie? Can we just get on with this? Alright? Go quietly. Don't let yourself get seen. Bring me back things worth knowing. Do the job. No one sees me unless I want them to. I may be 100 years old, but I've been doing this kind of thing for a while now. If you need help, shout out. Comms should go through the force field, right, Angie? Should be routed through the carrier via a nano door. Yes. See, Angie? He has a proper name. And much to Midnighter's frustration and anger. Alright, let's go and get it done. Engineer, I have a question. Who flies this thing? Good freaking question. It flies itself. Never mind, you just answered it. It goes where it wants. We're fairly sure the carrier is alive. It's locked itself to Earth's three-dimensional location and chronal precision. But other than that, it tours the higher planes at its leisure. Chronal Precession? Sorry, time on the carrier moves at the same speed it does on Earth. It is not like we couldn't take control if we wanted to, though. Oh, to an extent anyway. Carrier, tack into the bleed? There we go, we got red. That's the bleed. The already raw between parallel universes. The only thing we couldn't do is leave Earth space. It seems to want to stay on it with Earth. I just wish we really understood what the carrier was. It's something the doctor's going to work on. He's a magician. How will that help? He's the shaman. That's different. And you need to explain this difference to me another time. See that? The Midnight actually spoke to someone who wasn't Apollo or you. That's kind of original. This mess might turn into an actual team yet, you know? Oh, well, I didn't go that far, bastard. Come on, we don't even know the doctor's name. Know nothing about him aside from he speaks English and he's a magician. His name is the Doctor. And you know Angie's been as open as she can. But after I've got 9 pints of liquid machinery instead of blood, I'm just lost. Shut it, scum. Got that cigarette there, Jenny? I only got one. I only want one. And she says a dark word. She says, boom. And we see the Gamora Corporation Island Country, whatever, ends with Midnighter coming in. I'm in Gamora. And he takes out the guards. I am police detachment from Kazian's Gamora's superhuman strike force. And I really don't think you're supposed to hit me. Oh, hell. Oh, and he is immediately captured. You freaking idiot. Right. I want the doctor, the engineer, Swift, and Apollo to establish aerial sentry points. Jack, tap me into the city. Give me the wider picture. Call in when you reach position. Give me a report. I'm going to put a call into Jackson and Christine. Put the UN in the picture. If I gave the Yanks a strike first, they'd be clogging the place up with fire planes. No sense giving these Gamoras extra toys to play with here. Speak of the devil. We're too late for anything clever, Jenny. Stone me. And thus the end has come. The forces of Gamora have arrived in droves. Hundreds of... Wow. Gamora must have kept, well... Christ, look at them. Must have kept a battalion of them. I'm in reserve. I wish I had a cigarette. So her final words were essentially, smoke him if you got him. And she probably hates the engineer right now for taking the last cigarette. That's probably going to be pissing. We cut to the conclusion of The Circle. So anyways, the Midnighter is going ahead and beating the crap out of the security unit, who is apparently a badass enough to break the concrete. Identify yourself. How did you dodge my strike? You cannot be that fast. Oh, I can. And what's more, I know what you're going to do next. I've already played this fight in my head 1,000,000 times, from each and every angle. You think your causing Gamora is pretty damn good. I know, but my talents were built in by Henry Bendix, the biggest bastard on Earth, and trained by 5 years living through rough and fighting on the streets of America. America! I won this fight before you even turned up. And he tries to fight and is immediately taken down. Ouch. Right from here to there. Gamora Tower and Kazi and Gamora. And the army of superhuman terrorists. He's grown himself up. And LA is currently being bombarded by a bunch of flying super soldiers. The final chapter of The Circle. Right, time to prove we can walk the walk as well as talk the talk. Apollo, break them up. Engineer, Swift, flank. Jack, give me wire. Get weird for me, mate. Hey, Doctor, I'm not ready for this. Look, 2 months ago, I was a junkie. I wanted to be a shaman, but I was just a junkie with too many books. I can't do this. Look at those bastards coming down. You are the doctor. You got a millennia of dealing with threats to your village encoded into you. Reach inside and take it. This is LA, this isn't my village. I wouldn't give you a rat's ass for LA. The shaman lives outside the village. This is 1999. The world is your tribe. You are the doctor. That means exist inside you. Reach inside and take it. Yes, I am Dr. Manhattan, with bumps on my body and a goatee, with earrings, and I'm wearing pants. Eat that, Dr. Manhattan, John Ottersman. Doctor? I'll do what I can. And he explodes. Yeah, that sounds about right. And destroys all reality. Bloody hell! Is this your idea of magic? I know, instead of having them beat Jenny to death, turn them into 10,000 sharp pointy things and bloody chuck them at her instead. But you turn them into trees? I had to do something with all that mass. I feel gray. Hey, oh god, I think I'm down. Jenny sparks to all points. The doctor is down. He did good, Jenny. Took out nearly half the opposing force. Door. I'm putting it back on the carrier. What's the snipe? This is Apollo, Jenny, and I could use a backup. Because a hand-to-bastard ratio is not in my favor here. The hell with it. And he lasers 3 of them. And crashes into the ground. Through the building. Killing probably thousands. I don't want to be a pain, Jenny, but can I get some backup before I die? Hey, I'm on it. Give me a few seconds more. I never claimed to be a soldier. This takes thought. Los Angeles is dying. Think of something. Hey, who was that? Weird echo on it. It's Jack. Jack, where are you? Nowhere you can see. I'm not a soldier, Jack. No, you're an engineer. You're a woman who's distilled an incurable incalculable number of intelligent devices into 9 pints of liquid machinery and exchange your blood for it. You can do anything you can think of. That was the point of your machines. I know you wanted to build a safer world with them, but sometimes you have to fight and kick and bite for the better world, Angie. Okay, okay, shut up, I got it. The nanolo works like blood. It keeps me alive as well as covering me. I use airborne particles to make things. And if I stretch it all the way as far as it will go without killing me, swift to all points. I found a pull, but if I'm his backup, then I need backup. Just give me a second. Someone tell me how close we are to contain this crap, Jenny. Don't know why I didn't think of it before. Extreme machinery out on the web knives. Knives small enough to slip between atoms. Be right with you. And chaos scrolls through as Swift arrives to save her friend. And Jack, what's his face? Hawksmoor, I'm pretty sure I butchered his name repeatedly. He emerges from the building and punches the jaw and head off of someone. Where the hell did you come from? Daddy did a big thing with Mommy, and 9 months later, you suck! Jenny, this is Midrider. We have problems. No, really? Well, I knew things were too easy with only having 400 flying bastards ripping apart LA. Listen to me. I've infiltrated Gamora Tower. I can see the scale of this now. I don't know how to break it. He has a bioreactor pumping out superhuman clones. That's how he's doubling his strike force each time. He spliced human superhuman traits into a selection of human genomes and just programmed this thing to keep growing people at a rate accelerated past anything I've ever seen. Selection pa. It is a genetic material of my dead brothers and my terrifying and beautiful mother, deceased these last grey 30 years. They were forced to pay for the purity of Gamora with their blood. Now I give them back their glory. They scar the world from me. Well, now, what do we have here? An American superhuman in Gamora Tower. Don't you know where you are, boy? This is Earth's thermal point. Here is where the world revolves from. Where in the world turns, you just give me a good idea. Door. Interesting. What happened to you? I refrosted Los Angeles. Ask a stupid question. Carrier, can you hear me? God, how did she do this? Carrier, I need you to move. Los Angeles is currently blowing up and people are falling from the sky naked and electrically burning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the recovery damage is going to go well. Just like queuing out a wave of them, but I think LA's power grid been hit. I'm running out of electricity to work with. Midnighter, if you can hear us, we need an update fast. I'm taking the carrot out for a spin. And you what? He's got a bioreactor 2 miles long, he's got a mass teleport system, and I can't break either of them. And you're all busy. All I can do, Jenny, is hit things until they don't work anymore. That was the skill that was built into me. Gamora's tower is too big and hard for me to hit. So it's like my father once said, hit the soft parts with your hand, hit the hard parts with a utensil. And Gamora goes ahead and the people of Gamora see the carrier arriving from space. And it's wrecking through the entire island. If anyone's interested, that farting sound was Gamora's force field bursting. And yeah, he's killing everyone. Probably those who weren't even there willingly. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Gamora proclaims, I only wanted to have some fun. I love being me, Midrider says as he crashes into the building and kills everyone. Los Angeles ends with the battle, with the aftermath, and all the people dead. Did we win? All clear airily. The central part of the city is a mess, but we contained it pretty well. How many people do you think we killed? How many people would have died if we hadn't been there? It's not a great answer, I know, but it's the best there is. We saved more people than we killed. Well, that'll do for me. But we managed to something else too. I just spoke to the Jackson King and Christine Traylon. They're going to scramble aid agencies into Gamora and a team of UN inspectors. So it'll be a UN team, not a single country. That'll be Gamora's bioreactor and that will find Gamora's bioreactor and teleport system. It'll be the UN holding ways of mass producing human tissue moved from DNA scrappings, the UN holding a revolutionary mass transit system. They'll know they have it. Right? So give it 5 or 10 years of testing and bidding and building, and well, the world will be a better place. This is priority transmission via the UN building in New York City, breaking across all commercial and private frequencies in all languages. This is Jenny Sparks speaking for the authority. You're not alone. And thus ends the first 4 issues of Authority. They will be the forces of justice, purveyor of truth. Oof, and they will proclaim that you are not alone. So, yeah, I read this in the absolute format, which is awesome. The DC absolutes are pretty awesome. And oh man, I actually love these issues, the Circle. These first 4 issues were pretty damn good. I mean, the artwork was pretty awesome. And I managed to get some explanations on certain things, like the engineer being the engineer, actually being a human who converts her blood into nano liquid. Yeah, that was the thing for 9 pints. And now the authority rule is basically claiming that they'll do whatever it takes to save the world. And also change it in their eyes. Even though... So Jenny Hex says... Jenny Sparks says that they'll give it 5 or 10 years of testing, bidding, and building, and the world will become a better place, at least until, when they're no longer around, and therefore the world will have a power vacuum. Yeah, that was probably the dark ending you could go with. So, yeah, this will be very violent at times, I can tell. Not only because one of them likes to keep punching people's heads off and exposing their brains, but the big problem was that the authority have said, we are in control, we run the show, we have the power to change it. And they will answer to no authority above them. So, yeah. We must move quickly. The authority are relentless. So, yeah, there is a concern on that. I get that. So, are we going to get Pax Authoritaria eventually if they ever bring back the Wildstorm universe? And like the Wildstorm characters are being reintegrated back into the DCU after being gone for some time, but it's Grifter first. We don't know if the rest of the authority will be showing up or anyone else from Stormwatch. They mentioned the corporation from Wildstorm in print, but that's about it. But yeah, something tells me things are going to go crazy in DC side of things in the coming years. But yeah, speaking from let's look at this as a single story, this is pretty damn good in my book. I like the first 4 issues. They were pretty good. I love the artwork. Linkara said that this was basically what would have happened if Mark Millar wasn't the writer of the Ultimates, if they got someone else to do the Ultimates book. Like Mark Millar even got the same artist from the Authority story into doing the Ultimates, and yeah, considering how much Mark Millar went ahead and did the Ultimates in the way they did. Ugh. So yeah, this is like basically what they want, what Millar envisioned the Ultimates, but really what they really need was Warren Ellis for that run. It seemed because but yeah, I found these first 4 issues to be pretty good. The artwork consistent. Warren Ellis' writing is pretty top notch on this, and I do love and yeah, well, and the fact that these guys are like basically saying we are going to be in control, we're not going to listen to any authority, and like they start like, okay, what's the best way to describe this? It's the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That is essentially what they are saying. We will do necessary tasks to save the world by whatever means, and Yeah, they're gonna basically be the supreme authority of the planet, which is why when you call it absolute authority, because it makes sense to make this an absolute format, uh, it just spells, yeah, we gotta be careful. Having these unchecked superpower beings and that are no longer being controlled by either the UN or any other official governing body. They're just using the UN to just like, oh, we'll work with you and be grateful that we're not going to blow you all up. So, yeah. So this was Pop Culture Omniversa, uh, reviewing the Absolute Authority book, issues 1 through 4 of The Circle. Well, this was Near Reality Pop Culture Omniversa presenting the Absolute Authority 1 through 4. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos and my other channels below in the links below in the description or in the names in the search bar. Or feel free to check all that out. Be sure to stay tuned for more content, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.